5 a.m. I'm not so sure about this rooster business. Good morning, little buddy.
Good morning.
Are you ready to come see the chickens?
Yeah. Hello, Tails. Tails, how you feeling today? Feeling good? Let's see if they laid any eggs. Okay.
I already checked for the eggs and they didn't lay any. Do you know why they didn't lay any eggs?
Why not?
2 reasons. One, we didn't set up the nesting boxes yet. We need to cut holes in them and put hay in them so they can get in the nesting box and lay their eggs. That's where they like to lay. Second reason is because of the stress of their move yesterday and being in a new environment, they're much less likely to lay for a couple days. So it might be a couple days or so before we actually get eggs from them.
Yes. What?
See? No eggs.
You want to let him smell that, Daddy?
Yeah, he wants. It's this one right here. See, O-N, on. There you go.
Where does it come out, Daddy? From around?
No. Flip it over like this and see how it's filling up in that little green tray?
Yes.
There. Here in the inland northwest, one of our advantages during the summer is very long hours of daylight. At 4:30 a.m. during the summer, it's as bright as it is 10 a.m. anywhere else. We have pretty intense sun in the summer. Our disadvantage is a shorter growing season. Though our growing season is shorter, during the summer when we have all this extra daylight, the plants really take advantage of that and will grow faster because of it. But after this morning, my opinion has shifted a little bit in that if you have roosters, having broad daylight at 5 a.m. is not fun. It wasn't so fun this morning waking up to the incessant crowing of our new rooster tails. We have a lot to do today to get these birds squared away, up and running. When we got them last night, the farm and feed stores were all closed. It wasn't exactly a spur-of-the-moment decision to get them yesterday. We had planned on it for a couple days, but we were so busy in that interim time that we didn't have any time to get all the stuff that we needed before getting the chickens. My dad and his wife gave us an extra waterer that they have, the clear one that you saw in there, and they gave us a sack of their feed. But I'm going to consult with my copy of Justin Rowe's Permaculture Chickens ebook to make sure we have everything we need. And as you notice, I have not let the chickens out. They're going to stay in there for a little while longer today because they're right in the enclosure with the garden, so that would not be a good idea to let them out in here. I'm going to take advantage of this time to get everything else ready for them. We're going to have to get them out of here One super high priority is getting the feed situation taken care of. My dad and Diane did give us this sack of feed, which would last for a while. This is a 50-pound sack of non-GMO mixed grains. This is what's available at our local feed store. The reason why I want to get a different feed is check out these ingredients. There are a bunch of fancy words in there and extra stuff in there that we just don't need. And then the last ingredient, organic soy oil. Soy, for a number of reasons, is not something that is part of our diet, that we've eliminated a long time ago for health reasons. Consuming soy causes hormone disruption, and that is something that can be passed through the eggs. So when we're eating the eggs that these birds lay, we're still getting some of that soy, and that's something we want to avoid. A few months back, before we started homesteading, I started researching chicken feeds, mainly to find out what the cost is, so I can kind of get an idea of what our average daily or weekly or monthly cost on feed would be. So I researched the feeds that were available in our local feed store. That's when I saw feed like that in that sack there, the non-GMO stuff. I didn't realize that there was soy in it, but I did notice that long list of other ingredients of stuff that, I don't know, should they be eating all this stuff? So I shot off an email to the apron-wearing permaculture chicken ninja master, Justin Rhodes, and I sent him a list of ingredients. I'm like, is this what I should be feeding the birds? His response, great question. Essentially, the chicken lived 10,000 years before we started putting together those feed bags. Basically, it's a mix for confined birds in a system. I imagine yours are free to breathe, walk around, eat a bug or two, and eat the food scraps. He continues, do 30% whole corn, 30% whole wheat, 20% peas, 10% oats, 10% fish meal, and add 2% Nutria balancer. I know that's 102%. This isn't rocket science. The dinos are forgiving in our feeble attempts to mimic nature. Getting started with chickens. Okay, what do chickens need? Housing, fencing, waterer, feed, feeder, feed pans, grit, dust bath, calcium, and we don't need a birder. The ebook even comes with this cool getting started with chickens checklist. Let's get going. So first stop is for finding feed. I found this little country store that has bulk grains. I'm gonna see if they have what I need. And now for the farm store. Alright, let's see how we did. Okay, we already got housing. Feeder. I did not get a feeder, but I did get some feed pans, which I think is going to be sufficient for my purposes. Feed. Still having issues with this one, but let me show you what I wound up with. I bought a couple sacks of organic hulled barley, 25 pounds of certified organic oats, a sack of chemical-free hard red spring wheat. The country store's selection of grains was kind of limited. It's not going to be a long-term solution for me. It's just going to hold them, it's just enough to hold them over for a couple days until I can find a better solution. Also, the stores I checked did not have fish meal, so I'm not going to check off feed. Waterer. This is a 5-gallon polyethylene waterer made by Miller Manufacturing, and I believe this is the type that Justin Rhodes recommends, so I snatched that up. Dust box. Okay, I kind of goofed on this one. It would have helped a lot if I had brought that checklist actually into the store. I didn't, and I bought this thinking this would be sufficient. The checklist says 2 cubic feet minimum dust box. This is certainly not that, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else for that. But I will throw some diatomaceous earth in there for now and to see how it works for them. Fencing. I ordered some Premier 1 poultry netting, and I should have it within the next few days, so we'll check that off then. In the meantime, I'm gonna use the sheep netting. That could prove to be a disaster because it's obviously a wider span between the vertical strands, but I don't have anything else at this point for now. Grit. Crushed eggshells or oyster shells. We eat a good amount of eggs here, so we'll have plenty of eggshells, but I went ahead and bought the oyster shells anyway. It was only $4. Brooder. I don't need a brooder. We have no chicks. We have hens. Nesting material. I have hay, which should be good for that. Deep bedding. We're going to be moving the chickens. We have a mobile coop for them, so they don't need any bedding. I did not get brushes. Yeah, and we have chickens. I'm going to continue to work on our feed situation. Fencing is on the way. I just need to get a more suitable dust box for them to take their dust baths in. Other than that, I think we're going to be good to go. I also got this little feeder bucket here. This is going to be what we keep in the house to dump all our food scraps in. You wanted to check on the chickens?
Yes.
All right.
And I wanted to gather some eggs and see if there's eggs.
You want to see if there are eggs yet? Okay, we can check. Blackbud is awfully curious what's going on in here, huh?
Going on? Well, I wanted to gather some eggs and see if they laid eggs yet.
Yeah, let's go check.
So cute. So good. Hey, they're hot and hungry.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I see some eggs down here.
You do?
Yeah, there are 3 eggs nestled in the corner here.
They're duck eggs.
Do you want to get them or do you want me to get them?
I can't reach all the way down there.
Okay, you want me to get them?
Yes.
Okay. All right, collecting our first eggs.
They're duck eggs, right? I see. Yes, too.
There you go.
You have to be careful of them.
Carry it by the handle, okay? There you go.
We're going to have these tomorrow to eat.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Let me put this up. Not that it's going to do any good with...
Why did you put that up?
And I will be back with some fresh water for you. And some nesting boxes. So we need to get the chickens out of the garden and into their own paddock. The verticals in this netting is 12 inches apart and not ideal for holding in chickens. Our rooster is huge and we have a few larger hens that I don't think will go through there, but there might be a couple that are able to go through. If some get out, it's not the end of the world. I think by now they're imprinted on that coop enough to where they'll want to go back into it very soon. Birds on pasture.
So a couple of the chickens just walked right through.
A couple.
Here they are. Oh, yeah, they're looking for food.
They're walking for insects.
Daddy's gonna catch them. Oh, we got
10,000.
yes, exactly, Tails. Why don't you call them back, dude? You're not very good at this, are you?
Okay, let's get the fence on and see if that
Daddy's
helps.
herding
If you guys
chickens.
wanna get out. Yeah, so note to self, don't use sheep netting for poultry. Doesn't work. 2 ducks out and how many hens? 3 hens? I know that rooster can't get out, he's too big.
He'll get stuck.
So we had 5 escapees. Everybody's back in for now.
They're just testing out their new digs.
Yeah, hopefully they'll go back in to roost soon and we can close them up. All right, they all went back in. Fence is off. Go ahead and close that door, darling, and lock it. There we go. Oh, look at this belly. Man, that's a big belly.